Teresa, and this is WHAP News.
And here's some breaking news.
Men are allowed to vote, but women still aren't able to.
A feminist movement has begun to rise. Women are fighting for the equal rights that they deserve. I think it's time for a weather forecast, don't you think so?
I think it is, Mary, and now with our weather forecast is Diana.
Thank you, Mary and Teresa. Let's see what we have here. In Western Europe and lovely rainy Britain, we are sensing some transition to new manufacturing processes. This transition includes going from hand production methods to machinery, new chemical manufacturing, and iron production processes, and development of machine tools. It seems as if we're having an epidemic is breaking out in Britain, and we're dubbing it the Industrial Revolution. We'll keep you updated on this exciting development. Back to you, Mary.
How exciting, the Industrial Revolution. Thanks for the forecast, Diana.
Do you think they finally created indoor plumbing?
Let's not get ahead of ourselves, but let's keep our fingers crossed. Okay, so the Industrial Revolution. Although we label this era a revolution, its title is somewhat misleading. The movement that first took root in Great Britain wasn't a sudden burst of advancement, but rather a buildup of breakthroughs that relied on or fed off of one another.
Let's see our tech friend Natalie has anything to add into this new subject. Surely she does. Natalie?
Let's start with James Watt, who created the first steam engine. His contribution to technology has taken us far. Thanks, Mr. Watt. Moving on to the more famous Mr. Eli Whitney, who was known for the invention of the cotton gin, we can also thank him for showing us a more productive way to produce muskets with interchangeable parts. This has sped up the production tenfold. Other notable names include Robert Fulton, inventor of the steamboat, which changed the trading world drastically. With the ability of transporting goods quickly along rivers, transportation and communication expanded rapidly thanks to Samuel F. B. Morse, who created the telegraph, and Alexander G. Bell, who invented the first telephone. Messages that took once up to 2 weeks to deliver could now be transferred to the receiver in seconds. Wow, these inventors are just cranking up with thousands of ideas. For more tech talk, just tune in next time as we discuss the assembly lines and textile mills. This has been Natalie of Tech Talk. Back to you, Mary and Teresa.
The world is changing rapidly. We should have come a long way from our primitive ancestors.
You can say that twice. Do you know what time it is, Mary?
I think it's time for sports. Don't you think so, Teresa?
I think so. Let's see Alberto for our sports segment.
Hey, I'm Alberto and I'm bringing you the sports news. So, breaking news, the Olympic Games are going to be revived soon. And it will now include team sports such as basketball, football, baseball, and soccer. The French recently invented the metric system, so for the first time ever, the Olympic athletes can compete on tracks measured in meters. So a lot of these events are going to be included in something called the Grand Olympic Festival. And it will take place in Liverpool. So tune in right here at WHAP News. Back to you guys.
How absolutely exciting.
I think it's time for one more weather update before we sign off.
Well, Teresa, we have been informed that we have an upcoming urbanization storm. Immigrants and rural farmers have been storming into cities to look for new jobs and opportunities. Cities and factories are rapidly increasing. By about 70% of rural people have moved into cities. Cities are becoming increasingly crowded and cramped. We have about 2.2 million people in the city of London alone. Ordinary working people have found increased opportunities for employment in the new mills and factories, but they are under strict working conditions with long hours of labor dominated by the pace set by machines. We have about 90% chance of child labor in this upcoming industrial revolution. Children as young as 4 are being employed in production factories with dangerous and often fatal working conditions. We expect the death rate to be high.
I'm Mary Nguyen. I'm Teresa Ha. And this is WHAP News.
I think it's time for sports.
Don't you think so, Teresa? I think so. Let's see Alberto for our sports time segment.
Mary Nguyen.
I'm Teresa Hall,
And this is the WHAP 4 News.
Mary, you ruined this for me!
Okay.
Today, now for our
But women still aren't able to. So feminist movement has begun to rise.
Let's see if our friend Ted